Irashai, and welcome back to another edition of Baka Kawaii Reviews, where we discuss the stupid and scary in movies. And today we got a pretty creepy one here, called Juon White Ghost. Made in 2009, this movie dives deeper into the Juon or Grudge curse, and has a sort of an anthology feel to it with different characters and their stories. If you want to know how this crazy ass grandma terrorizes people with a basketball, then stay tuned for the Baka Kawaii Review. Let's get into it! The movie starts off with kanji on the screen, aka my weakness, and it says Juon. A curse is born when a person dies in a powerful rage. It then gathers where the dead person lived and becomes a stain. Anyone who touches it dies and a new curse is born. Man, that is one powerful ass curse, I tell you. This opening scene is one of my favorite opening scenes ever in Japanese cinema. Top 10 definitely. But yeah, we start the movie with this Santa delivery man named Fumiya. And he pulls up to this house with cake. He rings the doorbell. No one answers, so he rings it again. And the door just suddenly opens. So he invites himself in and calls to see if anyone is there.
Hi.
He politely waits for her to come and receive the cake, but he hears no sounds or anything, so he gets a little weirded out and asks her, "Hey, did I get this cake size right with an L size?"
お題の方ですけど、ファミリーサイズですんで。
今ちょっと手が離せなくて、すぐ行きますから。
A few seconds go by and it's just complete silence. Then
今ちょっと手が離せなくて、すぐ行きますから。
she says the same thing 3 times in a row with the same movement, same posture. It's just crazy. I mean, she'll creep anybody out. Yeah, shit is starting to get spooky, so he obviously gets creeped out. Then bam! He hears something hitting the floor. He goes to check it out, but doesn't see anything, so he walks around the house to see what's going on and finds the bathroom sink running for some reason. He looks up in the mirror and then sees this black figure and opens up the curtain to find half the bathtub burned. He goes to follow the little girl and makes a grisly discovery. Yo, he just straight up dips. And here's this.
今ちょっと手が離せなくて、すぐ行きますから。
Yeah, it's the same lady saying the same thing again. So, you know what? He goes to the kitchen this time. And he finds her dead body on the ground. After he pretty much just gets scared shitless, this happens. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just got crossed over or something after that. But on to the next story. We have our 2 characters in the scene, Hajime and his daughter. Hajime is taking her to school, but she doesn't want to be dropped off in front so everyone can see. But her dad's like, "Hey, yo, don't trip, ain't nobody gonna say none." She then gets out the car, but something nasty and sticky is on the seat. It's maybe just some natto, I don't know. The next scene, Hajime is cleaning that nasty ass stuff off the seat, but he doesn't really know where it came from, so he calls his receptionist, or whatever, and she says, "Yo, the police are at the taxi station to get some information about this guy that was in your taxi this morning. You know anything about it?" He then suddenly looks up at the mirror and sees the guy who was in the car this morning. He goes to check the back seat where this random bag appears, and he peeks inside it. And that is the last time we see Hajime in this movie, so RIP to him. We then shift to a different character. Her name's Akane. She's in this school with her friends and they're just hanging out, but one of the friends suggests they play Ouija board. At first, nothing is moving, but then a few moments go by and it just starts spelling mirai, which translates to future in Japanese. And no, I'm not talking about this future. They then get finished moving it, and Akane looks over to find another finger resting on the coin. So she's like, I'm out this bitch. Johnny. Shortly after, the two girls talk about how they probably scared off Akane, and rightly so. One of the girls realized they forgot something, so she runs off to go get it, while this girl, Mayumi, goes to the bathroom to wait. But when she's checking herself out in the mirror, she sees something walk past her, and she's like, what the hell was that? So she goes to check. I mean, a grandma with a basketball, huh? I'm honestly terrified. Like, she's gonna cross me over, then kill me? Daijoubu desu. Here we meet the Isobe family, and they've just arrived in this new house they bought. There's a lot of characters in this movie, so bear with me. But this guy's name is Atsushi. He walks around the house and finds this mirror that gets his attention. After his arm gets pulled, his niece comes in and asks, what's wrong? We pan to the mirror once they leave and find out that the mirror took his soul and trapped it in the mirror with that one grab of his arm. Now, my thoughts on this is that the mirror didn't take his soul fully yet, but it partially took his soul. So we see him in the mirror, but I don't think his soul is fully in there. I think there's still a part of him still in his body, is my theory. Now, back to my boy Fumiya. His girlfriend comes and picks him up at the police station after that horrifying thing that happened at the house. And they head back home to celebrate Christmas, right? And then... as hard as he tries, he just can't get that image out of his head. But his girl tries to make it better by showing him love and affection. Shout out to all the good girls, by the way. Anyways, they hug for a bit, and then old Granny makes an appearance once again. With him under that powerful ass Juon curse, he starts to see things and just gets a bunch of bad negative thoughts. But what happens in this next scene is truly messed up. Yeah, when I first saw the movie, I did not expect that to happen. I mean, I thought the girlfriend had just went somewhere else to another dimension or something, but look, he doesn't stop there, okay? He does not snap out of it, and he continues to Michael Myers this girl. R.I.P. to his girl, man. R.I.P. to his girl. We then go back to happy little Akane for a bit, and she then meets Atsushi's niece. And they have a wholesome encounter. But Atsushi's niece has to go back inside because her friend's waiting for her. And so I thought, but they have this nice little transition where they show Akane actually meeting her for the first time when she was a kid. So they go back inside, they have some nice little orange juice. Then good old basketball granny, rolls up around. And she's like, hey, what y'all doing? Y'all trying to ball today? But the reason she looks different in this scene, by the way, is because this is pre-curse. This is pre-Juon curse. There's no evil inside her yet. She's not a ghost yet. So Everything's cool. And this fucking side eye she gives her the funniest shit ever, by the way. I'm honestly wondering why this movie isn't more popular. Like, this is the funniest shit ever. But, anywho, we shift to this scene where Atsushi's daughter is talking about how weird Atsushi got after he touched that mirror and just, he's not himself, basically. So, Atsushi's listening to these weird ass tapes that have these cursed audio logs in it. And I think it's just taking him down deeper and deeper into this sunken place type of realm, should I say. But you know, genuine conversations about the bad guy in this movie don't really last long. So Atsushi overhears and he intervenes basically and kicks Akane out. After listening to those audio logs, Atsushi is fully immersed with the Juon curse. Now he gets really touchy and weird in this scene with his own niece, like sniffing her hair, and starts low-key sexually assaulting her. But Granny to the rescue! She's definitely the main character of this movie and the comedic relief, in my opinion. Ooh. Oh, and also, we got a little cameo here by the original person who played in the Grudge movies, the little son. Now, this is an interesting part of the movie because they explain a different way of how the curse can be transferred. This instance, they talk about a man who went into a house, and right before he committed suicide, he recorded his voice, and whoever listened to that tape, they get the Juon curse as well too. We now go back to the Isobe family and hear the mom calling the cake shop to get an L-sized cake delivered to her in the morning, causing Fumiya to come to the house and experience the horrors that he did. But this all started first in Atsushi's room. Now he's jamming that new Young Stilo mixtape, and suddenly, the tape turns into the voice that we heard earlier. Now, Atsushi's under the full effects of the Juon curse, and he first takes out his dad with one swing. God damn! Then, onto the legendary Granny. But yeah, this is how she becomes the basketball Granny that we all know and love. We then see here that this is the part where she kept saying the same line over and over in the beginning.
美穂さん、おばあちゃん呼んでんじゃない？はーい。今ちょっと手が離せなくて、すぐ行きますから。
Shortly after he kills the legendary Granny, Atsushi comes in the kitchen and stabs this lady. No remorse, no regret, just straight up stabs her with a blank ass face. So after he kills his wife in the kitchen, he then goes to kill this lady right here in a really brutal way. He gets a few bops in and drags her to the bathtub, where he then pours a shit ton of gasoline on her and just lights her ablaze. I don't think that's how the average person cries out when they're getting burned alive, but yeah, I guess that's just how it is in this movie. And I also really thought, yo, she could have just easily got up and socked his ass in the jaw or something, but I get it. That's the plot of the movie, I guess. The next and last kill is the little girl. Now, this was by far the worst kill in this movie. That Juon curse is seriously nothing to play with. I mean, if this guy is just butchering his family, no emotions and anything, oh my god, that's just crazy. Look at this guy. Getting towards the end of the movie, we see how everything built up towards how it did, with the delivering man driving to the cursed house, and this taxi guy with the man who just slaughtered his whole family. Oh, yeah. Also, we see where that nasty ass liquid came from. Ew. Atsushi then walks out to the woods and commits suicide with his niece he just killed, inviting him to hell or wherever the hell the Juon curse takes you. This last and final scene, we see how Akane is dealing with the grief of losing her dad from the Juon curse. But yeah, the movie ends with Akane getting a visit from the little girl that got killed so gruesomely. And in this part of the scene, Akane keeps saying, sorry, sorry, sorry. But, I mean, I guess it saves her in the end because she never got the Juon curse, or at least we as an audience will never know if she got the Juon curse. And that about wraps up Juon White Ghost for y'all. My console. I really enjoyed this movie. Like, I actually enjoyed myself more than I thought I would. I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I feel like it could have been a little more gory, and they could have also made the granny a little bit scarier. Because, I mean, that granny holding a basketball was just pure comedy to me. But the reason I enjoyed this one was because it gave me Tales from the Crypt vibes, with how it was an anthology and everything connects and it's in the same world. But yeah, the pacing in this movie was good. There was always something scary happening in every scene, and it was just a joy to watch and review. I 100% would recommend watching this and getting the full effect of a Japanese horror movie. Thank you for watching my Bakakoi review, and stay tuned for next week's review. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye bye.